Ladies and gentlemen, coin collectors, history lovers, and treasure hunters across the world, welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden gems in your pocket change. Today, we are going deep into the fascinating world of American coins to reveal the story, secrets, and potential fortune behind the 1971 quarter dollar from the United States of America. Yes, you heard that right. The 1971 quarter. You might be holding one right now without even realizing it could be worth way more than 25 cents. This isn't just about metal and numbers. This is a story woven into the fabric of American history, a coin that has quietly traveled through decades, passed from hand to hand, perhaps even sitting in your jar of change as we speak. So buckle up, grab your magnifying glass, and get ready. Because we're about to explore how a humble piece of metal might just turn out to be a mini fortune. Let's dive into the history, the design, the rare errors, the collector demand, and most importantly, the market value of the 1971 U.S. quarter. The year was 1971. America was in the middle of a cultural shift. The Vietnam War was still ongoing. The Apollo missions had taken mankind to the moon just 2 years prior. It was a time of revolution, innovation, and transformation. Amidst all this, the U.S. Mint continued its steady task of producing the nation's circulating coinage, including the now iconic 1971 quarter dollar. The 1971 Washington quarter was part of a coin series that had begun in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Designed by John Flanagan, the Washington quarter features a proud and stoic portrait of Washington on the obverse, his gaze facing left, with the word liberty arching above his head, the motto "In God We Trust" stamped just beneath his chin, and the date of minting 1971, clearly visible below. On the reverse, we see the heraldic eagle, wings spread, perched above a bundle of arrows, with 2 olive branches below, a symbol of both strength and peace. The words United States of America curve across the top of the coin, and E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, stands proudly above the eagle. The 1971 quarter was minted at 2 different locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Now here's where things get interesting. The Philadelphia mint quarters bear no mint mark, while those minted in Denver carry the small letter D on the obverse. Just to the right of Washington's ponytail, Philadelphia struck over 258 million quarters in 1971. And Denver added more than 258 million to that tally. That's over 500 million quarters released into circulation that year alone. So you might be thinking, how can something so common be valuable? Well, let's get into the juicy part. Errors, varieties, condition, and rarity. In the coin collecting world, it's all about the details. And when it comes to the 1971 quarter, certain rare varieties and errors can send collectors into a frenzy. Let's talk about the most desirable types. Off-center strikes. These quarters are struck improperly, with part of the design missing due to the coin not being perfectly aligned during minting. The more off-center the strike, the higher the value, especially if the date is still visible. Double die obverse. This rare error occurs when the coin is struck twice by the die, leading to noticeable doubling in the letters or numbers. Imagine the word liberty or the date 1971 looking slightly shadowed or doubled. That could be a double die, and that could be worth serious money. Wrong planchet errors, in extremely rare cases. A quarter may be accidentally struck on a planchet meant for another coin, like a penny or a dime. These are exceptionally rare and can sell for thousands of dollars at auction. Clip planchet errors. This happens when a portion of the metal blank is missing before the coin is struck, creating a crescent-shaped clip on the edge of the coin. High-grade, uncirculated, or proof-like specimens. A 1971 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially one graded MS67 or higher by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, is highly sought after. These coins, with their sharp details, original luster, and no signs of wear, are rare survivors and can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, how much is a 1971 quarter really worth today? Let's start with the basics. If it's a typical circulated coin, it's still worth its face value of 25 cents. But if your coin has no wear, looks flawless, or features one of those rare errors or die varieties, then you might be in for a nice payday. As of recent sales and auction records, here's a rough breakdown. A standard 1971 quarter in circulated condition typically sells for 25 cents to $1.50. A 1971 D quarter in high uncirculated grade, MS65, can go for $10 to $40, depending on the eye appeal. A top-graded 1971 quarter, say MS-67, has sold for over $500, and in some extreme examples, with perfect luster. And centering, prices can reach over $1,000. Quarters with major errors, like a double die or a wrong planchet strike, have fetched between $1,000 and $6,000. Depending on the rarity and condition. One particularly rare example, a 1971 quarter struck on a 40% silver planchet, sold for over $10,000. That's right, from pocket change to five figures. Now, you might be wondering, how do I check if my 1971 quarter is one of the rare ones? Start by examining the coin under a bright light. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the date, the word Liberty, and I in God we trust. Any doubling might be a valuable error. Check the rim. If the copper core isn't visible and the edge is fully silver, it might be an error coin on a wrong planchet. If the coin looks nearly perfect with no scratches, nicks, or dull surfaces, you may want to consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These services will authenticate and grade your coin, which can drastically increase its value to collectors. If you've got a rare error or high-grade coin, the decision to sell or hold depends on the market and your personal goals. Rare coins can appreciate over time, especially as more collectors enter the hobby. However, if you find a buyer offering a strong price, sometimes it's smart to take the money and run. Keep in mind, values fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and the overall economy. But one thing is for sure, the 1971 quarter continues to be a coin of mystery and intrigue. So there you have it, the full story behind the 1971 quarter dollar. A coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but with the right details and a little luck, could become a collector's dream. This coin reminds us that value isn't always about what something cost, it's about history, rarity, condition, and the stories etched into its metal surface. So next time you get change back from a store, take a closer look. That simple quarter might be hiding a small fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more hidden treasures in your pocket, and drop a comment if you've ever come across a rare quarter, or if you're going to start checking your change a little more carefully now. Today, we're diving deep into the story of a coin that most of us have probably handled without a second thought. But could it be hiding in your change jar right now, worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? That's right. We're talking about the 1989 quarter dollar from the United States of America. Yes, a simple 25-cent coin that could actually be a small fortune in disguise. So stay tuned until the very end, because we'll explore not only the fascinating history behind this coin, but also how to spot rare and valuable versions of the 1989 quarter, what collectors are paying for them right now, and what you should look for before spending another quarter again. Let's get into it. Let's rewind to the year 1989. George H.W. Bush was sworn in as the 41st President of the United States. The Berlin Wall was still standing, though not for long. And in the world of coins, the United States Mint was striking one of the most widely circulated coins in American history, the Washington quarter. The 1989 quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, or front, of the coin. This portrait has been in use since 1932, designed by John Flanagan. It's a classic image, Washington facing left, the word Liberty above his head, the motto "In God We Trust" on the left, and the date 1989 at the bottom. On the reverse side, we see the American bald eagle, wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches beneath it. Above the eagle is the phrase "United States of America" and the famous motto "E pluribus unum," which means "out of many, one." Below the eagle, quarter dollar. But this coin might be worth far more than that. The 1989 quarter was minted at three main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. No mint mark. If your quarter doesn't have a letter beneath the ribbon on the reverse, it was made in Philadelphia. D. Mint mark. This indicates the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. S. Mint mark. That one's from the San Francisco Mint, and it's usually a proof coin, which we'll get into shortly. Each mint produced a massive number of quarters. But here's where things get exciting. Not all 1989 quarters are created equal. Some have errors, variations, or pristine conditions that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. Let's break it down by numbers. Philadelphia Mint. Over 512 million quarters were minted in 1989. Denver Mint. around 896 million. Yes, nearly a billion coins. San Francisco Mint. Proof coins, just 3.2 million proof coins, struck for collectors and not meant for general circulation. Now, with numbers that high, you might think these coins are too common to be worth anything. But rarity isn't always about how many were made. Sometimes it's about how many survived in perfect condition or how many have unique errors. And that's where the real treasure lies. Here's where you should start paying very close attention. Certain 1989 quarters with minting errors have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars at auction. Some valuable errors include off-center strikes. The coin is struck slightly or heavily off the center, making it look unusual or incomplete. Depending on how off-center the strike is, these can fetch $100 to $400 or more. Double die errors. These occur when the coin is struck twice, slightly misaligned, creating a doubling effect on the date, letters, or Washington's face. These are highly sought after and can be worth several $100s, depending on the severity. Clipped planchet. This is when a portion of the coin is missing due to a minting mishap. Even a small clip can raise the coin's value significantly. Wrong planchet errors. Imagine a quarter struck on a nickel blank. These extreme rarities have been known to sell for $1,000 or more, especially if authenticated by a grading service. If you have a 1989 quarter with any of these errors, you might be holding a mini gold mine. Let's talk about coin grading. Even without a rare error, a coin in mint condition, known as MS, mint state, 65 or higher, can fetch a pretty penny. For example, a standard 1989 D quarter in circulated condition is usually only worth face value, just 25 cents. But an uncirculated version graded MS65 by PCGS or NGC can sell for $10 to $20. Go up to MS67 or MS68, and you're looking at $100, $250, or even higher, especially if the surfaces are clean, shiny, and flawless. And don't even get me started on proof coins. These were specially struck for collectors, with mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. A 1989 S-proof quarter in PR70 deep cameo condition, that's perfect condition, can go for $30 to $100 or more, depending on market demand. What's the going rate in today's market? Well, as of this year, 2025, collectors are more eager than ever to find top-grade coins, especially as interest in numismatics continues to rise. Online auctions and coin shows reveal that high-grade MS68 coins can bring in $300 to $800. Rare error coins have sold for as much as $1,500 or more. Even average condition proof coins from San Francisco are being bought by beginner collectors for $10 to $50 each, depending on the quality. So yes, your humble 1989 quarter might just be more than pocket change. All right, so let's say you're excited now. You grab your coin jar, and you find a 1989 quarter. What do you do next? Examine it closely under a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom function. Check for mint marks, doubling, off-center strikes, or any strange cuts or shapes. Look at the condition. Is it shiny, crisp, and clean? Or is it worn and faded? Compare it online to images of rare 1989 quarters. And most importantly, if you think you've got something special, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade is often the difference between $5 and $500. So there you have it, the 1989 quarter dollar. A coin that many overlook but might just be hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just getting started, this little piece of American history proves that every coin has a story, and some are worth far more than their face value. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more coin stories, rare finds, and money-making tips, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Drop a comment below if you've got a rare coin in your collection or a question about one. We love hearing your stories. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of American coins, and not just any coin, but one that might be hiding right under your nose. Yes, I'm talking about the 1993 United States quarter dollar. It's a coin that millions of people have handled, tossed into vending machines, or forgotten in old coin jars. But what if I told you that some of these ordinary-looking coins could actually be worth a surprising amount of money? What if you've had a little treasure sitting in your change all this time? Stick with me because in this video, we're going to explore the hidden story behind the 1993 quarter dollar. We'll talk about its design, its history, some rare errors and varieties that collectors go crazy for, and the latest market values that could make your eyes pop. You don't want to miss this, especially if you're a coin collector, a history buff, or just someone hoping to make a little extra cash from something in your pocket. Let's go back to the year 1993. Bill Clinton had just taken office as the 42nd President of the United States. Jurassic Park was ruling the box office. And in mints across the country, the United States Mint was producing hundreds of millions of quarter-dollar coins. The quarter-dollar minted in 1993 was part of the Washington Quarter Series, a design that had been in circulation since 1932. This design was created by John Flanagan to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. On the obverse, or front side, you'll find a proud portrait of George Washington, facing left. Above his head reads the word Liberty, and just beneath his chin is the phrase, "In God We Trust." Below that, of course, is the mint year, 1993. On the reverse, or back side, you'll see an eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches underneath, a powerful symbol of peace and strength. Around the top edge, it reads United States of America, and across the bottom, quarter dollar. Simple, elegant, and rich with symbolism, this was the last few years of the traditional eagle design before the 50-state quarters program began in 1999. So yes, the 1993 quarter represents the final chapter of a classic American design. Now let's talk about where and how many of these coins were made. The 1993 Washington quarter was struck at 3 different mints. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, produced over 639 million coins. Denver Mint, marked with a small d, around 662 million coins. San Francisco Mint, marked with an S, but these were proof coins made specially for collectors, only about 2.8 million of them. So if you've got a 1993 quarter in your hand, flip it over. If there's no mint mark, it came from Philly. If you see a D, that's Denver. And if you see an S, hold onto it. It could be a proof coin. And that's where things start to get interesting. Now here's where it gets really exciting. You see, not all 1993 quarters are created equal. Some of them have rare mint errors or die varieties that make collectors pay big bucks. Let's take a look at a few. Double die obverse or reverse. This is where the die that struck the coin had a slight misalignment, causing a doubling effect on the lettering or image. A doubled Liberty, in God We Trust, where the eagle's feathers can turn a 25-cent coin into something worth $100 to $500 or more, depending on the severity. Off-center strikes. If the coin was struck off-center and the misalignment is significant, you could have a coin that's worth over $200 to $400 or even more if the date is fully visible. Clipped planchet. This error occurs when the blank metal piece wasn't properly cut, leaving a noticeable crescent missing from the edge. A 1993 quarter with a clipped planchet can sell for $50 to $150. Proof coins with cameo finish. If you have a 1993 S-proof quarter with a deep cameo, where the frosted design stands out against a mirror-like background, you might be looking at $10 to $50 depending on condition. But if it's graded PR69 or PR70 by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, prices can shoot up into the hundreds. Full strike, high-grade coins. Coins that were perfectly struck and have never been circulated, meaning they're in mint state, MS condition, can be worth significantly more. A 1993 quarter graded MS67 or higher can fetch $100 to $300 at auction or from collectors. You might be asking, why would anyone pay hundreds of dollars for a coin that says 25 cents on it? Great question. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, value coins based on several key factors. Rarity, how many were made and how many still exist in good condition. Condition, is the coin scratched, worn down, or does it look brand new? The better the condition, the higher the value. Errors or varieties, strange flaws, doubling, or off strikes make a coin unique and more desirable. Historical significance, was it from a key year? Did it mark the end of a design series? The 1993 quarter is among the last with the original eagle reverse. So even if a coin was mass-produced, if it's an exceptional shape, or if it has something unusual about it, it can become very valuable. Let's look at the actual numbers. As of now, a regular circulated 1993 quarter is still worth 25 cents. But a mint state 1993 P or 1993 D quarter in MS66 or MS67 can sell for $50 to $250, depending on appeal and grading. A 1993 S-proof quarter, especially one with deep cameo, sells for around $10 to $80. But PR70 examples have sold for over $150. Rare error coins from 1993 have fetched prices from $100 to over $500 depending on the error and grading. You can check recent sales on sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or PCGS Price Guide. Just be sure to get your coin professionally graded if you think it might be rare. It makes a huge difference when selling to serious collectors. So, how can you get in on the action? Search your change. Always check the quarters in your pocket or coin jar. Visit coin shows or estate sales. You never know where a treasure might be hiding. Use a magnifying glass. Look closely for any doubling, off-centering, or mint marks. Check for luster. A shiny, well-preserved quarter might be in mint state. Get it graded. If it looks flawless or unusual, consider sending it to PCGS or NGC. And there you have it, the story of the 1993 quarter dollar. A coin that many people overlook, but which could be worth a whole lot more than 25 cents. Whether it's a stunning proof coin, a rare mint error, or just a piece of American history, the 1993 quarter deserves a second look. So before you toss that next quarter into a vending machine or coin jar, stop. Examine it. You might just be holding a piece of hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and hit that subscribe button for more amazing coin stories and treasure hunting tips. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin in your change. We'd love to hear your story. If you've ever looked at the change in your pocket and wondered if any of it might be worth a small fortune, well, you're in for a treat today. Because in this video, we're uncovering the incredible story of the 1994 United States quarter dollar. That's right, a coin that most people overlook every day could be hiding in your couch cushions, your change jar, or even right now in your wallet. And believe it or not, some of these 1994 quarters have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars at auctions. So grab a drink, settle in, and stick with me until the very end, because we're not just talking about history and value. We're diving into everything you need to know to identify if your 1994 quarter might be one of the ultra-rare varieties worth serious money. Let's get started. Let's rewind to 1994. The United States Mint was producing billions of coins annually, and among the most common of these was the Washington quarter, a coin that's been in circulation since 1932. The 1994 quarter features the iconic profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. On the obverse side, you'll see Washington facing left, the word liberty boldly above his head, the motto "I in God we trust" to his left, and the date 1994 stamped below. Flip it over, and you'll find the familiar reverse design. A majestic eagle with wings spread, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing strength and peace. This classic design was used from 1932 until 1998, just before the launch of the state quarters program in 1999. Now, 1994 may not seem like an ancient year, but we're talking about coins that are now over 30 years old. And in the world of coin collecting, that's more than enough time for hidden rarities and minting errors to become highly valuable. Before we dive into the values, let's talk about where these coins were made. In 1994, the U.S. Mint struck quarters at 3 locations: Philadelphia, marked with a P; Denver, marked with a D; San Francisco, marked with an S. You can find the mint mark on the obverse side, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That tiny letter can make a huge difference in a coin's rarity and value. Philadelphia and Denver coins were made for circulation, meaning billions were struck. San Francisco, on the other hand, produced proof coins, specifically for collectors. So here's the million-dollar question. How can a 1994 quarter be worth anything more than 25 cents? The answer lies in rarities. Low population, high-grade examples, and most exciting of all, mint errors. Let's talk about a few examples. Point 1. High-grade business strike quarters. Coins that are in absolutely pristine condition, what collectors call MS, or mint state, can be worth hundreds of dollars. A 1994 P or 1994 D quarter graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can fetch $150 to over $500, depending on the buyer. Point 2. Proof quarters. S-mint proof coins struck in San Francisco were made using special dies and polished blanks, resulting in stunning mirror-like surfaces. A 1994 S-proof quarter, especially the silver version, can be worth $10 to $50 or more in pristine PR69 or PR70 condition. Point 3. Rare mint errors. Now this is where things get wild. Double die errors. Some 1994 quarters were struck with slightly misaligned dies, creating a doubling effect in the lettering or date. These coins can sell for $100 to several $100s, depending on how dramatic the error is. Off-center strikes. If the coin was struck slightly off target, leaving part of the design cut off, collectors go nuts for these. A 1994 quarter with a 10% to 50% off-center strike can be worth $150 to over $1,000. Clipped planchets. If a portion of the coin was accidentally clipped off during production, that mistake could turn your coin into a rare and desirable error. Values range from $75 to several $100s. Wrong planchet errors. This is the jackpot. Sometimes, a quarter gets struck on the wrong type of metal blank, like a nickel or dime planchet. These major errors are extremely rare and can sell for thousands of dollars at auction. So, how do you know if your 1994 quarter is worth anything? Here are a few steps to follow. Check the condition. Coins in better condition are always worth more. Look for minimal wear, strong details, and no scratches. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe if needed. Look for the mint mark. Coins from the San Francisco Mint S are proofs. Philadelphia P and Denver D coins are circulation strikes, but MS-grade examples from either can be valuable. Search for errors. Doubling, off-centers, clipped edges, and other oddities can dramatically increase value. Look closely at the letters, edges, and borders of the coin. Compare with grading standards. If you think your coin might be valuable, consider getting it graded by PCGS or NGC. The two top coin grading services in the world. As of right now, the market for 1994 quarters is surprisingly strong, especially for rare errors and high-grade examples. Let's break it down. Circulated 1994 P or 1994 D quarters, still worth face value, unless in exceptional condition. MS65 to MS67 grades, values range from $50 to $300, with the top-tier coins occasionally selling for even more. 1994 S-clad proof quarters, around $5 to $15, depending on grade. 1994 S silver proof quarters, $20 to $50 or more for PR69 and PR70. Major errors and double dies, anywhere from $100 to $2,500, depending on the severity and demand. Recent auctions. Some ultra-rare examples of 1994 quarters with dramatic off-center strikes or wrong planchet errors have sold for well over $3,000. So, the next time you get change at the grocery store or dig through an old jar of coins, take a closer look. That humble 1994 quarter could be a hidden treasure. The key is knowledge, patience, and a good eye for detail. Remember, coin collecting is not just about money. It's about history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, every coin tells a story, and the 1994 quarter might just be the beginning of yours. If you found this video helpful or interesting, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a future upload. I've got more deep dives, coin mysteries, and rare finds coming your way. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your change. I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows? The next coin you find might just change your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.